I used to be a streamer, so I have all the
Oh, that's so good.
doodads.
Yes.
The podcast mic, everything. So nice.
I'm so glad. That makes it so much easier.
Oh yeah, it does. And honestly, like having these things, if you do like get into like podcasting or like just even streaming, like it's so nice to just be able to access it. Like sometimes I'll
Mm-hmm.
just join Discord and be like, "Hi friends," and I've got my camera up and be like, "Hmm, it's like we're IRL but virtually."
Right?
And let me know if I have like any background noise too loud because I have a couple
No,
fans
not at
on.
all.
It's like 100 degrees here, so
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh, you're in Cali, right?
I'm in Bay Area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Bay Area, and yeah, it's 100 degrees here today, and I've got two dogs here that are just dying. So we got the fans going in the back, the AC's cranked up to like 68.
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
It's
Mine
lovely.
is too. Mine's running constantly. It was
Same.
pretty hot, and it's okay in here. It's like I've got it set at 68 because I wanted it to be cool this morning
Hmm.
before, it started
Before
getting
you
too
got
hot.
in.
And then it doesn't keep up, while I'm at work. So it's like 74 in here. It's not terrible. Good. You look good.
That's better. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I've put all like my guns off to the side. Do I need to move them, or are they okay to be in the picture?
No, they're great.
Okay, cool. We're
Yeah.
like moving, so that's actually my airsoft box. That whole thing is filled with guns and gear, and it's been a mess, but we're almost all settled in.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I don't have any rules on here.
Okay, cool.
Like I don't care what you have in your background. I don't care if whatever somebody talks about. I just let them talk. I don't care.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I've heard, some other people have come on the podcast that have been on other podcasts, and they said they'll text me, be like, "So do you have rules or like a setup or certain things we talk about?" I'm like, "Not really. I'm totally,
Whatever
totally
rolls, man.
unprofessional. Like you could talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't care. It's okay. Like,
Okay.
you know, yeah, it's fine."
Hey,
So
that's fun.
I mean, the way I treat it, and I'm sure you've heard this, it's as if we're meeting in person. If
Right.
if we met at the field, or if we met at an event, or if you and your fiance,
Yes. Hmm.
yeah, uh, if you and your fiance were over here for one of our cookouts or something, we
Hmm.
have big parties, like 30, 40, 50 people over
Oh
here.
wow.
And if I met you guys like that, that whatever conversation we have, that's how it would be. And that's
Gotcha.
kind of how I treat these podcasts. Obviously, talking about your airsoft experience, but yeah, just everything else is just hey, what's up? It's nice to meet you.
Hey, I like that. I like that a lot because it's like you're getting to meet like the real person, not the person like who puts on a face for the camera. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and
'Cause
that's
the
really what and that's what I wanted these to be about,
Mhm.
or I guess kind of like the mentality behind it was I wanted people to feel comfortable.
Mhm.
So I work with whatever schedules, whatever questions. I think you and I were texting back and forth a handful of times to set
Mhm.
it up and everything. Totally fine. That's really normal. Like it's super rare for me to ask somebody to be on and they're like, yeah. And
Sure.
then I'm like, okay, how about Monday night at 7? They're like, yeah. That never happens. It's we go back and forth, but hey, let's figure out a time because sometimes there's time differences. Like you guys,
Right.
I'm in the East Coast, I'm in South
Mhm.
Carolina. You guys are in California, so a 3 hour difference.
Mhm.
Sometimes, people will be like, yeah, I'm in Cali. I work until 9 o'clock at night, but I could be on by 9:30 or 10 their time, and I'm like,
Yo.
uh, maybe on a Saturday night or a Friday night, but like I get up at 6 to get ready and work out and go to work and stuff. So that'd be like 1 in the morning for me. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, I know we always just I leave it open. I want people to feel comfortable. I don't care if they use their phone or laptop or PC, as long as the audio is pretty decent. Then that's really mostly what I care about.
Mhm.
It's just Yeah, so I try to make it really comfortable for people to be relaxed and just have a conversation.
Hang
That's it.
out.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I like your setup. I like your guns.
Thank
You
you.
guys, so this is a new apartment you guys just moved in?
I just moved in literally like 2 weeks ago. So we're still kind of getting everything set up. We're huge like geeks. So like I have like a bunch of stuff in the background. But I'm also like I have a bunch of anime figures that I have like nowhere to put yet. So that's all kind of still in a box back there. All my
Oh
airsoft
my
stuff
God.
in mailbox still there.
Oh God, that's crazy. Yeah, I hear you. All right. Welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you being on.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's my first one. I'm really excited, honestly.
Yeah, awesome.
I've
Good.
never done anything like this before, so I'm super
Okay.
stoked.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's really just like a more focused, I guess, FaceTime or a video call with somebody.
Right.
Um, or, if somebody's done streaming, or playing games online, you talk to your gaming buddies or whatever. It's very similar, while you're playing. I'm sure, I mean, I still game, and when I get on, if and when I put a headset on, it's like we talk about all kind of shit while we're playing these games, because most of the games I play, the guys I play with, we're very experienced with those games. We played them
Mhm.
a lot, so we don't really have to figure out the map or whatever. So we're just like bullshitting while we're playing. It's
Memeing.
like all these intense moments in the game, and we're just like, oh yeah, so oh, you just moved? What's going on? Shit's blowing up, and people are, characters are dying everywhere.
What kind of games are you into?
Right now, I always bounce around. Right now, I'm
Same.
into Division 2.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love that game. And then, Ghost Recon,
Hmm.
and then, of course, Call of Duty, all the Call of Duties, Halo. I played
Halo's a
Halos. I
big one
played
for
all the
me.
Halos, yeah. Um, Gears of War, shit like that. Like the two story games I will never skip a cutscene are Gears of War and Halo.
I respect that. Those
Oh
are good
yeah,
games.
I'm saying.
I,
I've
I grew
actually.
up playing Halo, so
Oh, yep.
Mhm.
See, yeah. I mean, that's. They had a few months ago on Xbox. It was like one of their featured things on their home screen. They had this short, uh, I don't know, like a mini series kind of thing. I forget how many episodes it was, but it was like a little show, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was about the inception of the Xbox console, and it
Okay.
was really good. It was really, really, it was done really well. A little documentary,
Hmm.
and they had all this old footage from the '80s and stuff when they were have these meetings with like these board meetings and shit with, or brainstorming meetings with Bill Gates and like
Hmm.
trying to figure out all this stuff for the Xbox. There were so many times that it almost got canceled before it was even,
It's so
created.
crazy.
Isn't that crazy? And then they were trying to figure out a game to launch with, and then here comes Bungie out of nowhere, like nobody had ever heard of them, and they pitched this idea to them. And when they pitched the idea, it was like, yes, get it done right now. And Bungie was like, holy shit. We don't have any code for this. Like this, it was just an idea. So they had to like hurry up and get all this shit done. And it came, I mean, the first one, of course, the story and
Hmm.
the gameplay, it was awesome, and
That
they
is
were
such a good
under the
one.
gun to get it done. It was crazy.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I love
Sometimes
hearing
that's when the
stories
best
like
stuff
that.
happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Especially if you're gonna be like dealing with a big company like Microsoft, and then all of a sudden they're just like do it, and you're like, whoa.
Exactly. Hey, let me do something real quick.
Yeah.
Um,
Take your time.
yeah, let me check. So I turn your mic all the way up on OBS, and I'm
Is it
still
still
like
really quiet?
it's very quiet. Yeah,
It could be my gain. Hold on. Let me see. How is that?
that's way better. What'd you do?
Okay. My gain. I have a mixer, so I have like an audio
Oh,
mixer right there, and I had to just turn it up.
yes.
It probably got
Oh,
turned down. My
thank you.
fiance games right next to me, so we have to
Oh,
like balance with the
yep.
podcast mics and everything. So,
Exactly.
but he's not
Right.
home, so it can be as loud as I want.
Perfect. Okay. No, that's great. That's perfect. I just
Perfect.
because I was gonna go in and check the video, like
Mhm.
just make sure if it's record. Because sometimes the way I'm hearing it through my headset is not what it sounds like, when
Yeah.
I'm done recording it. So, yeah, that's way better. Cool.
And if
And
I
you know
need
what's
to turn
cool?
it up, just let me know because it's like right here.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think we're good. I mean, most of the time I'm dealing with a lot of echo and background noise
Hmm.
because people will be on their phones with the speakerphone. You know, they won't have earbuds in,
Right.
and I'm like, what'd you say? Because halfway through the sentence, the mic will hear something, or
Hmm.
if I comment, it'll hear me coming through the speaker, and it'll kind of do the noise cancellation.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, I was talking to one guy a long time ago, this is months and months ago, and he was on his PC, and he didn't have a headset on, but I could see one hanging like right, kind of like behind him, and I was like, "Hey, yeah," because it kept doing that noise cancellation.
Uh-huh.
I think he was using the mic through the webcam,
Oh
and
no.
that's like a big no-no.
That is
So
no, yeah.
I was like, "Hey, can you put that headset on?" I guess he didn't like the way it looked on
Mm.
on the screen. I'm like, bro, nobody's gonna care. I promise you. We're used to seeing
I want to
streamers
look
and
like a
gamers.
gamer, okay? I
Right,
want to fit
exactly.
in.
It looks really good. I love your the light up
Oh, thank
stuff.
you. Thank you. It's the Logitech, like the G Pro, so it's wireless. So, well, I left it to die last night, but that's why it's plugged in. But I can usually just walk away with it.
Yeah,
I love it because like I can still listen to my music and like walk away from my PC, and I'm like, this is nice. I like this. I'll never go back to a wired headset.
right. No kidding. Yeah, I have one of the Turtle Beaches for my Xbox. That's the wireless, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I had to plug something in one time. This is a couple years ago, and I was letting that one charge. So I used another one that was wired, and it was so hard because when I'm sitting there into the whatever. I think we were doing a raid on Destiny 2.
Nice.
And and so you gotta all the puzzle shit in there. Everyone has to
Mm-hmm.
jump on these things, at certain times so they don't fall. And I'm sitting there like it's intense. I'm like, oh shit, it's almost my turn. I go to grab my drink or whatever. My arm gets caught on the
Oh
fucking
no.
wire from the headset. It like pulls halfway off my head. I'm like, oh shit, I almost spilled my drink. And they're like, it's your turn. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's a wires are a no-go for me.
Oh, it's horrible. I'm telling you.
I used to rock like a really nice like HyperX setup, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Like the sound quality is amazing. And then I ended up picking these up, and I'm just like, I will never go back. Like
Oh,
these are
right.
like I think 130 bucks, so they're not that bad. But they're really
Okay.
great quality and really comfortable. But like the fact that I could just leave my headset on and
Yes.
walk away is just like the best thing. Because I'll be gaming and I'll be like, we play a lot of 7 Days to Die right now.
Oh, that's a good
So
one.
I'll be like listening to like the zombie sounds around me. I'm like, okay, let me walk away and grab a snack. And I'm like, if I know a zombie's attacking me by the sounds, I can just run back.
That's a good
super,
game.
super
Yeah.
convenient. Oh yeah, no, great game. We've played it for quite some time, like back when it first released and through the beta through Xbox.
Yeah.
And then we had downloaded it again like a couple years ago, and we are like, oh well, it hasn't really changed much, like they haven't really done many updates. But recently, actually I don't know how recent it was because we haven't played the game in a couple years, but they did a huge overhaul.
Oh,
The game
really?
is really updated. There's a lot more stuff added. They made it pretty difficult too.
Oh,
um
shit.
and even the graphics, like the whole overall game experience is a lot different, so we were really excited to jump
Oh,
back into
okay.
that.
I'll have to check that out because me and my buddy, one of the guys I know here, he was actually my first, he trained me.
Hmm.
When I first moved here to South Carolina, my wife and I moved with our kids. We were from Cleveland, Ohio. We moved down here 15 years ago. My first job that I had was store manager for a GameStop, video game
Oh,
store.
nice.
So I did that for 3 years. Well, the guy that was running the store that I was taking over his store, him and I are still friends today. We're
Oh, wow.
drinking buddies and stuff, and gaming buddies. So when that 7 Days to Die came out, him and I played it when it first came out, and we were, I mean, like big time into it for like
Hmm.
2 weeks straight. I mean, we're building all kind of shit, and
Hmm.
and then we'd have to venture out to get shit. I mean, it's like Minecraft kind of,
Oh yeah,
feel
but with
with building
zombies,
it.
yeah.
with the crazy zombies and
Hmm.
kind of a mix between Left 4 Dead and Minecraft, and it was really cool.
It's a
Scared
really,
the
a really
shit
good
out of me.
mix. Oh, and they made it a lot worse. There's some jump scares. Sometimes the zombies come at you
Uh,
completely silent. It's really weird.
oh my god.
But no, they did a really great job with the overhaul. Like whenever I was playing it, I was like, ah, this is awesome because I played it like I don't even know how long ago it released, but like probably like 4 or 5 years ago is when I first originally played it and was like, this is a great game. But like, man, I wish it was a little like more updated. And then
Right.
they just never did anything, and then they finally did. I don't know when they finally did. I actually need to look it up because I've been like, how long have I been going without this graphics overhaul? I could have been playing this game a year ago, man. Because it's a good one. And those
Yeah.
Fortnites, they've gotten some crazy stuff. Because it's like right now we're doing a more difficult version of like the standard difficulty. So it's like
Okay.
Nomad, I think is what it's called or something. And
Okay.
it's like 16 zombies per person per wave. So we have about 6 people in our server, so that
Ooh.
adds up very quickly.
Wow. No kidding. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, we would build this thing and be like, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna stay up in this tower that we built, okay? Because going down in that cornfield freaks me the fuck out. Oh yeah, yeah, we had a lot of fun with that one. So I was looking at your well, first off, I have followed you on Instagram for quite a while.
Oh,
At
really?
least more than like a couple months, I think. So I guess fairly new, not like a long time,
Hmm.
but when I started finding all these, when I started doing podcasts with the female airsofters um, throughout throughout the world, I I saw you. I think you were listed in the FTW when I talked to Spooky the first
Hmm.
time, or uh, what's that one Instagram that always women
Women
of
of
airsoft?
Airsoft. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have been featured on that or something like that.
I'm in FTW, and I also have been featured on Women of Airsoft, so it's probably a mixture of
Gotcha.
both.
Yeah.
I had dropped off the social media face of the world for a little bit due to like
Oh,
the whole moving situation. So
right.
I probably didn't even realize that you were following me. So I like recently just followed you back and was like, wait, you've been following me this whole time. It's sad. Sometimes I just miss stuff like that.
Oh, sure. I do too. I do too. Yeah, it's hard to keep up. I reached out to you after I talked to Rogue Customs,
Hmm.
and he mentioned you in the podcast because he was like, "Yeah, I painted a mask for her too," you know.
Hmm.
And I was like, "Oh shit, okay," because you were the first one that wanted the whatever he called the blue
The
ice
black
blue
ice. The
black
black
ice.
ice. Yeah.
That's it.
So the black ice dye, I actually have it like right over here. It's actually I think I can get it. Let's see. So I do have the black ice dyes. It's the original. Very, very good detail in terms of like his work. Like, oh my god, it's unmatched versus some of the other
It's
stuff I've seen.
beautiful. Yeah,
And in terms of like, I know he was talking about chips and stuff. I have one chip. That's it. And I've been playing
gotcha.
with this mask since like probably close to a year now, honestly. Like we're coming up on it. And I usually play like once a week or try to play once a week.
Right. Now, do you do you and how did you get into airsoft, I guess, first? And then are you guys doing like tournaments or, mostly speed QB, that kind of thing?
So it's mainly casual play currently. We're looking at doing, or me and a friend are looking at doing a milsim. Like they're not really a milsim because they're kind of like it's a 1 day event, but it's
Yeah.
in Tucson, Arizona. It's going to be the Tactical League that's coming up for KWA on
Okay.
October 22nd. So I'm trying to go to that, but I just like accepted a new position at my job, so it's like a little rough.
Oh,
But
right.
in terms of like getting into airsoft, my nephew, he lives in well, it's actually my fiance's nephew, but he lives in Texas. He's into airsoft in Texas. Like growing up, he did like he built like sniper rifles and stuff, and the FPS out there is way
Nice.
different versus here. And he came out here when we lived in SoCal 2 years ago, and he was like, "Oh, there's an airsoft field like right down the street from my house. We're talking 2 minutes away." And we're like, okay, well, let's go try it out. I was actually super scared. Like, I was scared to death. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Like, I'll go. Like, it sounds cool. Like, I've shot real guns, but like, I was just like assuming the pain would be like awful and I would not be able to, because I'm kind of a baby when it comes to pain. So I was like, no way. There's no way I'm gonna be able to, no way I'm gonna like this. But I was like, you know what? We'll go. We'll go have fun. He wants to go. We'll take him. So we go and we did like rentals for the first day, and it was so hot. It was like 100 degrees out there. We were dying, but we
Oh
had
my
a
God.
huge blast. Like we had so much fun. And
Yeah.
even with our crappy rental guns, like we still had so much fun. Like the community was really great. My home field or where I started playing is called Jungle Island or Wildlands Airsoft down in SoCal.
Okay.
And so I played there for quite a bit because we live literally like 2 minutes away. And
Oh, that's awesome.
so after like playing that first game, my nephew flew back home to Texas like a week later, and we literally immediately drove down to an airsoft store down in like, uh, dude, I can't even remember the town. It was like an hour away from us. And like the
Yeah.
closest one, it was called Modern Airsoft. And we bought like 3 guns, like the whole gear, everything. We were just like full send into it. This is super fun. And we had a blast, and we played like constantly for like a few weeks.
And
It was honestly really
what was the
cool.
first gun you bought?
Oh, I don't even want to say it because I hate this gun.
Come on.
Lancer
We all
Tactical
got our
M4.
beginnings, okay?
It was a Lancer Tactical M4. It
Yeah,
was
don't be
at
ashamed.
the
It's okay.
time. Oh, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm just like hurt because this gun, like, so as a newbie in airsoft, you're like always trying to fit in. We bought the guns. We were taking the orange tip off to put a new tracer unit. I got the lighter BT. It was the coolest thing.
Nice.
And as I'm taking off the orange tip, my father-in-law decides to like manhandle this thing because he can't get it off. And we didn't like know, like there's tips and tricks, whatever. He
Right.
manhandled it so hard. He actually bent the outer barrel inside of the body. Like so every time I shot
Oh
the
my
gun, it was just
God.
like crooked. I
Oh
hated it.
my
It was
God.
awful. And then luckily I ended up moving into a G&G combat machine, and that was awesome.
Oh, good choice. Good upgrade.
G&G is one of my favorite brands, so
Yes.
that's
I'm
kind of like the gist of it.
Give me 1 second. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, no, you're
I
fine.
usually my daughter's calling me and she never calls me. I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, she does call me, but it's usually like, hey, I need to stop over for something or whatever.
gotcha. Yeah, no worries. Take your time.
Let me text her real quick. So my wife's not home from work yet. She's probably tried to call my wife, and
She's like
that's
next line of communication.
yes, exactly. I'm always the second one. Oh shit. All right. So anyway, but yeah, that's pretty cool that when you guys started, you guys didn't know about airsoft, but then you ended up having a field like 2 minutes from your house.
Yeah, that was
That's really convenient.
the coolest thing, honestly. When
Yeah.
we lived down there for like a year and a half. It was probably 2 years. And so we were playing like literally every weekend. We'd get off of work and we'd go play because they did like day and night games during the summer.
Okay.
So we were playing all the time, and we made quite a few friends down there. Like I have a good group of guys that play down there, and
Yeah.
there's also some girls that play down there as well. And the
Oh,
community
that's
down there
cool.
is really cool. There's like 13 fields, and you don't get to play on all of them because it's a paintball park, but you can play on the
Oh,
ones that the paintball park isn't playing on at the time. So like
yeah.
they like radio, like, hey, can we use net one or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's really cool. The field layout too is like huge, and versus like some of the fields that we have here, like I've only ever played at 2 fields here in NorCal so far.
Mm.
Would be our field where I work at, well, not where I work at, but where I work next to, Game Pod Combat Zone, and then also 707 Playland in Petaluma. And
Okay.
707 is small, and there's one field. So it was like, oh man,
Mm.
I miss SoCal. Like, man, dang. But Game Pod Combat Zone. So I don't know if you know this, but I actually work for EVIC in Antioch. So
Oh no,
I work
didn't
for
know
the
that.
retail store. Yeah. It's
Oh,
I don't tell a whole lot of people because like I don't want people to like
the
associate my
first
social
thing they're gonna
media with
say is,
them. Yeah.
"Oh, give me a deal."
Yeah, or that,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah.
So I've been working there for about a year now. I recently just got promoted to being the manager, so I'm really excited
Oh,
on that.
okay.
But the field I play at, so like Game Pod Combat Zone, I play there like every weekend, sometimes twice a weekend. Because I'm there. I'll literally get off of work and then just go play.
Yeah, no
It's a
kidding.
blast. It's a blast. We have a lot of fun.
That's cool. Okay. Now, how did you get into that job?
I was working at Target as a manager for the longest time, and I was just like, like Target's not just not really my like what I want in life, and I want something different. And I was at the time really heavily getting into like the social media with airsoft and like finding a lot of friends. And then when I moved up here, I was like, hey, now there's not a lot of airsoft around me. I don't know if I'll be able to get into it. And that's when I found out that they actually have a NorCal outpost, and was like, wait. You know what? What are they gonna say? No, like to my application? Like, the worst they do is like, oh, you're not like, yeah.
That's
So
it.
I just did it. So I did it,
Good.
and here we are. And a little bit time later, now I'm a manager. So,
Awesome. That's cool. See, that's what a lot of people are afraid of, that of taking that step, because
mhm,
they're afraid of rejection, or they're afraid
right,
of, and if you just put it like you just said, and this is where, I've heard that a lot as well. Look, all they can do is say no. And
right.
that was my mentality when I first got out of the military. My first job was like full-time job was um, a factory in Cleveland, Ohio. And I had never worked in a factory. I was working construction when I was, a teenager, and then went in the military. And after that, then I got this, there was a job fair. I got this, job at a factory. I didn't know anything,
Mhm.
about working in a factory. So I knew how to work with my hands. I knew how mechanic stuff, because I grew up working on cars. And, so whenever they would put up a job bid, I had no clue. They put up the first job. I started out packing parts. That's all I did. I was just packing parts in a box
Hey,
or a big crate. And they put up I was like, I'm going to bid on everything they put up. There's a new job opening. I don't care. And so there's one came up, quality control. I'm like, I have no idea what that is, but I'm going to bid on it. My buddies were like, you don't even know what. I'm like, all they can do is say no. I don't
right.
care. I bid on everything they put up. I was there for 9 years,
That's
and I
awesome.
got every single one of them.
That's awesome.
I
Hey,
was
I
just
mean,
like,
it
I
puts
don't
you in
know.
working the whole place, so that's cool. Like then you
Yeah,
like
right.
know like all the different jobs. So that
Hmm.
puts a really good place for you. And that was my mentality. I was like, worst comes to worst, they just tell me that I'm not ready, or like my airsoft knowledge isn't there. Like
Right.
I understand. And at the time, like my airsoft knowledge was not a whole lot. Like I knew
Yeah.
brands and guns and stuff, but like in terms of like internal building and like, just selling guns in general was like, that I don't know if I have that. But I'm like, worst comes to worst, what they tell me that I need more experience, right? And then I just figure it
Yeah.
out. Like I just get more experience. And no, they were just they immediately liked it. I think I'm the first female that's ever worked there at our NorCal outpost.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh yeah, we need some like female energy. And I'm like, yeah, let's
Oh,
do it.
that's
I'm down.
cool. Yeah. Well, there's, for sure too, because there's a lot more females get into airsoft.
Oh yeah.
You
Nowadays,
know,
yes. Hmm.
and it really helps in a retail store if you have, there's that kind of a personal connection,
Yes.
or the relatability. It really does help,
Oh yeah, no,
especially, with that.
I had a mom come up to me yesterday who was getting her son into airsoft, and she was like, do you care if I bring my daughter here next time to talk to you? And I'm like, of course I don't care. Like, bring her on. I'd love to
Oh,
talk
that's
to
cool.
her. She's like, she plays rugby. She literally is like, in her words, she's a little badass. Like, I think she'd have a lot of fun. Like, yeah, bring her on, dude. I'll show her all my stuff. I'll show her all the tips and tricks. Love to have more women in airsoft. Like, whatever I need to do to convince her to come, we'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll play with her. Come on.
that's cool. Okay. Yeah, when I was talking to Spooky the last time, that one came out. That podcast came out Saturday night.
Mm.
She was telling me how, and I guess this is pretty common across the board. I've heard this from a lot of different, girl airsofters I've talked with, that, they still get a bunch of dumbass messages. And now, when she first said that, I was thinking, okay, yeah, the teenagers, they're like, hey, you're pretty. Hey, like all those kind of, hit on you kind of thing.
Um,
She's like, no, like, uh, why the hell are you playing airsoft? You're a
mm-hmm.
girl. Shit like that. I'm like, I mean, I was blown away, because I'm going,
Yep.
there's no way. There's no way. These people are,
Mm-hmm.
I understand they're young and stupid, okay, but like, what? I just I can't wrap my head around it.
Oh yeah, and it's even worse like working in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
So yesterday I posted on my story too. Yesterday I oh, can I get a metal gun, like something that's gonna withstand it if I like drop it? And I'm like, well, to be honest, if you drop it, it's metal, it's still going to break, made to be dropped and like going thing. And he's like, can I speak to someone who actually plays airsoft? Was his response to me. And I was like, I play every weekend, but here's another employee like past. No, we're not going down that road.
I saw that on your story.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's
people,
funny.
Man.
Yeah, well, look, by the end of, once, after like 6 months of that shit, you'll just be so mentally tough and emotionally tough. You'll just be like, whatever, dude. Like, none of that shit bothers me anymore,
Oh yeah. I mean, I get stuff like that all the time. Like, people will be so surprised. Like, I had a family come in and they were like, oh, like, how come you're not out there playing? I'm like, oh, I do. I play. I'm working right now, so I can't go play. Like, I get like stuff like, to be honest, it's better to just like take that and like not educate them, but like, so to speak, just be like, oh, but I do play. Like, I'm actually like very like, into the airsoft community and stuff. And it's cool to see their reactions to be like, oh, wow, that's like, she handled that well kind of thing. Cause I have a lot of customer service background, like years. So I can take most of it and just like turn it around. Like,
yeah, for real. Yeah. Like you keep your cool and you stay calm.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't get emotionally attached to those dumb comments.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, I'll literally get that on be playing and someone will be like, oh, then I'll just be like, haha, well, when you get team killed later on, it wasn't me.
That's funny. Now, do you guys play mostly indoor, or do you switch it up from indoor outdoor?
Since I work full time, except for Mondays and Tuesdays, we mainly play at the field that I work at, or well, the field connected to the place I work at.
Yeah.
So GamePod is actually, I guess, I believe it might be America's biggest, if I remember correctly. It's like America's biggest indoor airsoft park.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so it's huge.
I gotta look this up.
It's really cool. So during the week, they use it as a military and law enforcement training facility. So it's like literally mimicking basically inside of a warehouse.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's pretty big.
What is it called? GamePod?
GamePod Combat Zone.
Oh shit! Okay, I've never heard of it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I gotta see.
I mean, it's kind of hidden out here in NorCal. Not a lot of people airsoft out here. Not as many as SoCal, at least.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what is so NorCal is like what, San Francisco up?
Yeah. So I actually live like maybe 45 minutes from San Fran, but yeah, you can basically say like Bay Area and then kind of up is Northern California, but even like an hour below or 2 or 3 hours below San Francisco is technically considered NorCal as well.
Right. Oh, it's such a long state.
Yeah.
I was when I was stationed out there before I got married. I was when I was in the military. I was stationed at Pendleton, and my buddies and I were like, we took a trip up to Yosemite. Mm-hmm. So we were, Camp Pendleton's like Oceanside area, and so we drove. Now, look, this is 1991. Okay, there's no. There's no internet, no navigation stuff, no GPS shit. Okay, this is like old style. Hey, give me this paper map.
Where's the map?
And we're going, and we had to figure it out in our head. Like, oh, it's this many, because you use the little graph on the map and count how many miles it is. Roundabout, and we're like, oh shit, that's like a 6-hour drive. All the way up I-5 or whatever. Well, so I'm like, and I'm looking on the map and I'm going 6 hours. We're going to be at the top of California. Holy shit. And I look and I'm like, holy shit, that's only in the middle.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God. So that state is so long. That was the farthest north I had ever been.
Oh, really? Okay.
In Cali. Yeah.
That's, I don't think that's very far from like where I'm at. Yosemite.
Okay.
I've never actually been. I've been wanting to go for a while, but like just so busy. But I think it's pretty. I don't think it's very far. Like maybe a couple hours.
Okay.
So you kind of know where I'm at.
Yeah.
And then I'm technically originally from Texas, so talk about big
Oh,
states.
yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, we're from Texas. Then I moved to SoCal when I was like 18, I think 18. So
Gotcha.
like 6 years ago, and then
Yeah.
we moved from SoCal to NorCal like last year. So
Okay.
lots of moving, lots of moving.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, my wife and I did too, man. When we first got married, I still had 2 years left in the military, and the first apartment we had was in a town called Fallbrook,
Mhm.
uh, Southern Cal. It's like kind of inland,
Mhm.
east from the base. And then we were there for, I don't know, less than a year. Then we moved to we'd find a cheaper apartment, and we're like, oh yeah, let's go.
Do it,
So
yeah.
we moved to Vista and Oceanside, or maybe Oceanside first and then Vista, and then from there so it's like every few, like 6 months.
Bouncing around, yeah.
Oh, dude, we're like, but it
You're
was
living
great
in
because
boxes still.
we were living in boxes, man. Like we barely had. I mean, I had my uniforms,
Uh-huh.
right? Which all go in a sea bag, right? Just easy as all my shit can go in a sea bag.
Bam.
Haul that thing over there. I'm done packing. Um,
Nice.
there's no computers. We didn't have. I think I had the original Nintendo. Okay,
Oh,
not the
nice.
64. All right.
The
I had the
original.
original Nintendo. I had original Genesis, Sega Genesis.
Wow.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
and
I'm jealous, okay?
it was funny. Yeah, I would do that on the weekends. We were first married. My wife and I would play like, well, she would watch because she was like, I'd give her the controller,
Mm.
and all she could do is look up. I'm like, no, 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 move the controller like this. She's like, I don't know how. Like, how
I
do
don't
I?
understand.
So I'd play Mario Kart, and I mean, the original Mario and shit
Mhm.
like that. So, but yeah, I didn't have very much to move. So a
So you're like,
TV,
screw it.
cooking. I think we had more cooking stuff, pans and shit. My wife cooked all the stuff. Then I did like clothes and stuff. So moving was way easier. And now, all my kids are grown. My wife and I have 5 kids, and
Oh,
my
wow.
youngest one's 20. So they all got houses, moved out, shit like that. And
You're like,
so
finally.
yes. Hey, listen, now the last one moved out 4 months ago. My wife was depressed, man. I
Oh.
mean, oh yeah, she's still a little bit kind of
Hmm.
like really misses it because
Hmm.
like she was a full-time mom and she worked as well once the kids got older. But that was her, like that is what she was supposed to do in
Hmm.
life. Like really, really good mom. She was great.
That's awesome.
And she misses it. She would cry like the first week, just, I don't know what to do.
No, that's awful.
I know.
You
So
need some animals.
yeah, I know. That's what her friends keep telling her. And she's like, yeah, I never really had any good luck with pets, and
Mm.
because we had a couple dogs and stuff for the kids growing up, and turtles and birds, and somebody come home from school from elementary school where they had the show and tell thing or
Mhm.
whatever, and like, oh, somebody brought a hamster in or a gerbil or something. Yeah, I want a hamster. So we'd get them that, and oh yeah. So anyway, but yeah, it was. She's like, I'm not really into pets or whatever.
Mm.
So I'm like, well, you need something to do. Well, I've invited her to do kind of getting more involved in
Mhm.
what I'm doing here, that kind of stuff. She's like, well, yeah, I'd love to. What do I do? Because she don't like to be on camera. I'm like,
Uh,
well, let me
editing.
think. She ain't touching this computer. I'm gonna tell you
Ah.
right now. Oh no. Uh-uh. Honey, listen, I gotta help her with her phone sometimes.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, I'm like, no, please don't. No, 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 no. You're not knowing the password. All the kids know the password on here to unlock it, not you, okay? This
Not
thing will be
allowed.
smoking and blowing up by the time you get on here for 10 minutes.
That's
uh,
great. That's
but
lovely.
she's good writing. She's good at writing,
Oh,
so
there you
she
go.
she does notes and like outlines and shit for me. It's really
Mhm.
good. So
That's awesome.
she's and I finally talked her into going to an event with me. The SS Airsoft in Georgia is having that Call
Mhm.
of Duty event.
I know. I want
So
to go so bad.
yeah,
Rogue's gonna
that's a
be
long
there, and
trip.
I'm like, oh, I really want to go, but yeah, I've decided that probably not gonna make that one, but
Yeah,
maybe a future one.
it's only a 2 hour drive from our house.
Oh,
So
lucky
yeah,
duck.
I know, dude. I was so happy that it was somewhere like that instead of out west.
Usually they're out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of everything ends up being in SoCal, and even then, it's like I know it's SoCal. It's only like a 6-7 hour drive. It's just like still taking the time off of
Hmm.
work, making that drive, getting everything booked and all that is still such a pain sometimes.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's still. I think anything over like 3 or 4 hours is kind of like if it takes half a day or more to
Mhm.
drive, then it starts to get a little like if you don't stop really the whole time, you start to get uncomfortable. Your legs
Yeah.
are like, and your butt starts hurting. You're like,
Mhm.
are we there yet?
Yep.
But
And then
yeah.
yeah, and then I mean, I have the two dogs too, so I always have to find someone to watch
Oh,
them.
that's right, right.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it becomes
no
a
kidding.
bigger hassle. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it'd still be fun. Like I'll still do it, but maybe only once a year, twice a year, something like that, you know?
Right.
I'm also old. I don't like
You're also what?
I'm also old. I'm a homebody.
You're old. You're not old. Good
Okay, I
Lord,
feel
child.
old. My
I mean, you're
body's
an
telling me
adult.
I'm old.
You're an adult for sure. You look great, but you're not. You're not. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's funny.
when I start to play airsoft, I feel old.
Oh no shit, right? When you're like when you still feel it 2 days later.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was laughing because I think it was Spooky uh on her TikTok thing or whatever she was. This is like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. She was doing. You know how people do those questions,
Hmm.
little poll questions, or whatever on Instagram, whatever. And something, I think somebody asked her if she was still going to be playing airsoft when she's 30, and she was like, she went on this thing like, uh, I don't know what I'll be doing out there. That's like, when I'm that old, I don't know. And I'm going, seriously remember, I was 20 years old, still in the Corps. Uh, we weren't married yet, and I remember meeting somebody off base that was 30 years old, and I was thinking, holy shit, that's old. Like I'm not even gonna make it to 30, bro. Like what are you talking about? We were skydiving, we were surfing, we were doing,
Uh,
of course, and then training and stuff, and I'm like 30 sounds like old as shit. Oh yeah.
uh, that's me. I just turned 24 in February, and I still like the other day I was actually sitting with he was my manager, but he left. So I was sitting with him, and he's a really close friend of mine, and I was, how old am I? And I literally forgot. I
Oh
couldn't
shit.
figure it out. And I was like, Nico, how old am I? And he's like, I don't know. Didn't you turn 24 this year? And I'm like, I think I'm 25 now. And I was literally so backwards. Like totally forgot. I literally counted. I pulled out my calculator. 1998 minus this, and it was like 24. And I'm like, oh, I'm not 25 yet.
Oh my god, that's funny.
This is so awful. I was just like, yeah, this is my like mid 20 crisis. How old am I? I don't
No
remember.
shit. Oh, that's wild. Yep. Yeah, that's funny. Now, when you guys you got I was looking at your Instagram. You guys just got engaged recently?
Yeah, in
Okay.
November. In November.
Okay. I'm sure that was exciting. I
Oh
saw the
yeah.
pictures and the little video where were you guys at?
We're at Disney World.
Okay.
So Billy, that's my fiance's name. He grew up at Disney. Like his mom worked there, his cousin still works there. Like they
Oh.
lived almost on the property. Like he would go get his haircut every week just to get like the Disney sparkles. Like growing up as a kid,
Oh shit. Yeah, yeah.
and so he is very much always Disney fanatic. Like we love Disney stuff like that, and we're huge Star Wars fans. Like humongous.
Gotcha.
I have way too much Star Wars merch. There's a bunch behind me, and then like a bunch in that box up back there. So,
Nice.
he had all like wanted. engaged, like ask, propose,
Yeah.
to me at Star Wars, which I had like no, like I had literally zero clue happening. I didn't even know he was gonna. I always joke with him. I'm always like, "Oh, when are you gonna marry me?" Like, "Oh, when are you gonna marry me?" We've been together for 8 years now,
Oh shit.
and yeah, it's been a long time. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, "Hey, when are we gonna get engaged? When am I gonna get a ring?" Like, always just
Yeah.
jokingly sending him stuff like, "Oh, I like this ring," and he actually listened and did this like all by himself, which he's just not really like the type. Like, I mean, he is the type to do it, but like he likes always to ask, can you plan this, or can you plan this vacation, because I'm the
Right.
planner.
Right.
And so for him to do that whole like this whole vacation that I had no idea, I was like blown away. It's such a cool experience too.
Oh, that's cool.
We got to meet with some cast members that were really cool, and they took like pictures and stuff, and he literally did it in front of everyone. Like his whole family was there, like there's a bunch of like random people there. Kylo Ren was in the background. Like it was
Oh
like,
shit.
this is like a dream.
That is
Never
so
thought it
cool.
would be me.
Right. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was back in November, and then I was supposed to go back this year to Disney. Actually, we try to go every few years, but I've just like so busy. Like work is like taking over my life right now with the transition and everything. Like,
Sure. I hear you. Hell yeah. You guys, whenever you play, well, you play a lot by yourself because you know, when you get off work, you'll just go right
Mhm.
next door. But before that, where you guys would play mostly together, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, even together, he get off of work at his work, or like every Saturday, like he
Yeah.
drives down there and like picks me up, because usually I'll carpool with a buddy that day, knowing like, oh, hey, Billy will be picking me up later because we're gonna go airsofting. So we
Yeah.
still very much play together. We play together, but we're not usually together on the map.
I hear you.
he's he's not as like aggressive. He's still very aggressive, but I'm very aggressive. Like I play more speed softy, I guess would be the term, and he
Yeah.
plays more like military simulation style. So he's like,
Gotcha.
tactical. I mean, I'm still tactical, but I like to be very aggressive with my pushes. So,
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's cool. You
it's
know,
it's a lot of fun.
I was talking to a guy Sunday that lives in Russia. He's from Russia,
Oh,
lives in
really?
Russia. He was telling me, and now I did not know this at all. I didn't know anything about like Russian airsoft, you
Hmm.
know, whatever. It's a national sport there,
Oh, really?
like 100% national sport. They have, it's
I'm
like
jealous.
football is here.
Wow.
They have tournaments that are televised. And
Wow.
so like wherever, whatever, you know, just like with our football, any of our
Hmm.
sports where all the fields are exactly the same, that's how those are because they have to have, you know, certain specifications. They have to be set up the same way. And I'm going, what? This is national. This is like he's like, oh yeah, man, these guys are like real serious into,
That's cool.
you know, it's speed soft.
Hmm.
So I was like, holy shit, man, that is crazy. Because I was just talking to some people last week about how they're on the East Coast and they always, you know, and they play speed soft. And they're like, we're trying to get a national league going so that we
Hmm.
can play against people like SYG or something
Hmm.
like that. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know any of this. You know, I'm new to all this speed soft kind of news and how it works and all that kind of stuff. And in fact, I think it was Nick, Sandy Cheeks.
Hmm.
I think he was the one telling me about like CSL has like the competitive, you know, speed soft league or whatever.
Yeah. It's getting
And
bigger.
right, that's pretty cool.
It's really cool. I have never actually competed. I did FTW so that if anyone like this side, then they needed someone to jump in, I can jump in. Because I
Right.
do know like all the like rules, like I've never actually done. I have a buddy that I work with, and he is actually on a team that competes competitively, and it's really cool. It's like more like paintball kind of is what
Hmm.
how he describes it. Which is cool. So I'm like, hopefully we can get like, the paintball portion's pretty big. Like, I mean, they do some, I think I've seen
Right.
some televised for that and stuff. So if they could get that, but for airsoft,
Hmm.
my idea, like I had wanted this for quite some time. I want to do a private event at GamePod, but I want to make it more like tactical games. So
Hmm.
like I love the Speedsoft side, like I think that's awesome, but not everybody's into that. So I
Right.
want to do something that is like pertains to everyone, or like you can do different events, and it's like so the first one would be like a 5v5, and your best team wins type deal, like whole
Hmm.
field, who can be the most tactical, whatever. Or and then you go down to like 1v1s or 3v3s, stuff like that. But that was kind of like my ideas. I want to do something that everybody can join in.
Hmm.
But I don't know if it probably would never get as big as like, speeds off, because the
Right.
speedball stuff is super interesting to watch, I think. And it's real quick like turnaround times. So it's like super easy to like probably televise and stuff as well.
Right. Yeah, getting televised, that would be the, next big step
That would
for
be hella awesome for them.
but
Mhm.
like even now it's hard to find uh a field that actually records the whole thing
Mhm.
from like a bird's eye view or,
Right.
whatever, records these tournaments or whatever, from, and it is out there here and there, but it's not as much as I thought would be, for some of these
Yeah,
tournaments.
it can, like, yeah, it definitely seems like it's a lot bigger. And then
Yeah.
you like kind of look at it, you're like, oh, it's basically YouTube. Like that's all you really see
Yep.
out there. Like there's no like sports coverage on
Uh-uh.
a random channel, but it's basically just YouTube. Which at the end of the day, like even if you could like a huge channel, SYG, something like that, SpeedQB specifically to sponsor an event, you can get kind of that coverage,
Right.
but it's not as like television, national television as you would
Hmm.
like it to be. But hey, maybe one day eventually we'll get there,
Yeah. Yeah,
because
it will.
that stuff's really cool.
And it's growing a lot. Airsoft is
Oh
growing.
yeah. Here in NorCal, I like to think airsoft is a spectator sport, because working in NorCal and like selling, in terms of what we sell, it's mainly to beginners. It's mainly to people that come like
Right.
off the streets. They're like, "Oh, what is airsoft?" Thought it was like
Hmm.
paintball. It's similar. It's beginners. And then we have the people who are the returners, but they're like already kitted out. They're just buying gas. But the majority of our sales buying like brand new kits, because they've just discovered what airsoft is and they love it.
Yep.
So here we like to say it's more spectators. We have a spectator area on our second story, and we have
Okay.
like moms, dads, and families, and just people come off to come watch.
Oh,
Um,
that's cool.
so it's really cool, like having that. I mean, we're not, doing like tactical league, like we're not like there's no scores or anything. It's just team deathmatch. But
Right.
my idea for what I'd want like that would be like the skirmish airsoft thing. That thing is so cool. Have you seen the skirmish airsoft?
I just learned about it like 2 weeks ago.
Dude, so
It
cool.
looks
I
awesome.
I played at high ground for the opening, and we got to use the skirmish system. I thought it was like if we could just get something like that, but like for our field, and maybe even like a projector that's like a screen that's in
Right.
spectators area that says the who holds the objective, how many kills
Hmm.
they have, would be so cool.
That would be cool. Very cool. And that'd be a good step in the right direction to get it televised, because
Exactly.
that's what it needs. It needs
Hmm.
something that's interesting to watch for a
Hmm.
spectator that really, especially that doesn't really know a whole lot about the game,
Right.
but wants to watch it, like,
Hmm.
oh, what's going on? Oh, who's winning? Oh, okay. Now, or having some commentary
Hmm.
while it's going on, where your play by plays,
Right.
explaining what the hell's going on the
Hmm.
field.
And
That's cool.
that skirmish system is really cool. It was really cool getting to use it. I didn't understand it, like, because we kind of went in and they didn't like skirmish wasn't there. It was a private game. Like it was basically everybody not from high ground Houston staff versus them. So like of course they know what they're doing, and we're just getting back to, we've never played on this field, and we're all in rinse gear. Like nobody brought their own guns besides the high ground staff. So
Right.
it was a time, but they actually had the boxes set up in different rooms. So you touch your armband to like claim
Mm.
that box, like the objective. Like this is my objective for the team, and I thought that was really cool. Like even if you have an app or something that said, you know, your green team holds this objective and red team holds this objective, like a map, and you could like work people. Be really
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, for real.
Mhm.
That is cool. That's a cool system. When I can't remember who told me about it. I was looking it up as they were telling me. I was like, I
Mhm.
think I pulled it up on the screen actually on the podcast. Because I was like, whoa, I've never heard of this. What is it now? And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Because I've heard of some of these, you know, type of things at some of the mill sims, the bigger
Mhm.
mill sims that these guys have gone to, and where and it's not connected like the
Right.
skirmish thing is. So
Mhm.
it's just a single box. They flip a switch, has kind of like a running timer on it, you know, where okay, now we have it,
Right.
that kind of thing. But there's nowhere to. It's just on the box, or it's not, you know, somewhere like skirmish does where you can
Right.
see what's going on.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if look, have you ever heard of that attack sense targeting system?
I've heard of
Tar
it. Yeah,
shooting.
it's the one you can buy that's like 800,
It's very
right? I
expensive.
have one. Well, I don't have one in my house, but I have one
Oh,
at the shooting range. I was like, I have
oh,
one in my house.
like
I
let's see
wish.
it.
I wish. No, it's their shooting range. It's what we use
Yeah.
for like our chronograph, the shooting competition sometimes. And I'll tell you, I use that thing all the time. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't have quit working at Evike and I didn't have access, I'd buy my own because they're so cool.
Right. That well, the one good thing too is how it's connected to this, you know,
Hmm.
worldwide leaderboard. That is
Right.
the you know, coolest thing. That's what, like, if they got together, or maybe that system they got together with Skirmish and
Hmm.
figured something out for putting those, you know, targets, like
Right.
fixing them on your
Hmm.
body somewhere, where if you know, it knows you got hit
Right.
from one of those, and then it reads through the whole system, man, that'd be fucking cool as
It
shit.
would be really cool. I think I talked to somebody in within Evic before, and they were saying that they had previously worked on something like that, but it just got like really expensive,
Yeah.
so kind of got side tabled. But honestly, in terms of how big airsoft is becoming, because honestly, it's grown so much in just the 2 short years that I've been in it.
Hmm.
Um, I think that we could see something like that come to fruition here pretty
Yeah.
shortly, probably. Especially with Skirmish, like doing what they're doing right now. Like that was such a huge step for them to be. They're like in what, like 5 fields across states too. So it's
Okay.
like, wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah. No shit. Very cool. So what do
Hmm.
you guys, what's your next, what are you guys looking forward to? Like, you have a bigger event coming up, or?
So we have some stuff in the works, but nothing set in stone yet. We don't do a whole lot of events, honestly. I wish we did more, and honestly, pushing to do a lot more. So
Yeah.
hopefully we come up with some different ones. In terms of like what I'm gonna be doing, not like EVIC affiliated, would be the probably that KWA TAC League in Tucson that I'm
Gotcha.
really stoked for. I'm probably gonna go with me and a couple friends who've never like played airsoft. Well,
Okay.
one of them has played, but one of them hasn't. So we're gonna go down there and like, in her words, we're all gonna be. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll figure it out because I've never done a TAC league. I've been invited down in like that 6-7 hour. Like I can't always like just do it.
Right.
I have some friends who have done the TAC league since and they really enjoy it. So I'm like, I think I want to go and be a part of this, like the first Milsim one they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, listen, it's been really nice to get to know you and talk with you.
Same with
Uh,
you.
yeah, for sure. Um, I will definitely look forward to having you on again. Maybe you and your fiance on together,
Yeah, that would be awesome.
you know, in a few
Definitely down
months.
for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That'd be
just hit me up
great.
anytime. I do this is fun. Like talking to other like airsofters. I always love this, especially that I'm on the West. You know, we probably wouldn't talk like IRL. Like, or it'd be hard to get us together IRL.
Right.
This is a really cool way to like, hey, how's East Coast airlifting go? You know?
No shit. Well, speaking of the East Coast and female airsofters, I'm actually I've got another podcast tonight. Well, here in a couple minutes with
Mhm.
Mama Yaga.
Oh,
You
awesome.
know what
Yeah,
I'm
so
talking about?
she's on the FTW team as well. So I do
Right.
by passing. Yeah.
It worked out weird because, or like funny that both you guys that I had been following your Instagrams for
Hmm.
each of you guys for the same amount of time, and then just recently somebody said something about Mama Yaga. Oh, it was call sign Cap, the guy that
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, and
Uh-huh.
he mentioned her and Dylan, and then Rogue mentioned you, and I'm like,
This is like
hey,
the same
you want to be on
situation.
the? I'm like, here we go. All right,
Hey,
who else wants to be on the podcast? Yeah, man, that's cool. So
that's so cool. That's so cool how the network works. Like, because you're meeting so many people through other people, and it's like
oh my
you
gosh,
mention that person's name now that they're on there, and they're mentioning like I'm mentioning other people.
yes.
That's so cool. Honestly, it
It,
makes the community really like it's cool. It's really
it
awesome.
is, and you know what? I feel like through this podcast, I'm getting connected with all these
Hmm.
people, and it's not just you can follow somebody on Instagram and kind of get to know them a little bit, like just
Hmm.
by following and
Right.
commenting, and kind of you start that interaction,
Hmm.
and but when I have somebody on here, I feel like I made a friend. Like I really made a friend. If I was ever in
100%.
Northern California, my wife and I would hit you up like, hey,
Oh
you want to go
yeah.
out, you guys want to go out to dinner or something, we could hang out. Like
Hmm.
it's been really, really, really good for me to branch out and meet people.
Hmm.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I won't hold you up too much since we got someone
oh
behind
no,
me,
no,
but
we're good.
um, but it's so
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you. For having me on. Like you said, like it is really cool. Like I feel like we've connected over like our
awesome,
mutual love for airsoft. Then it can fruition into like more of a friendship, and like
absolutely.
even between then like meeting other people, watching your podcasts, and just people mentioning other people's names is so
Right.
cool. Yeah, it
Thank you.
really grows the
Yeah,
network. So I really love what you're doing. Like
awesome. Thank you.
you're
I
like a
appreciate it.
little, my eyes.
Oh shit. No, I'm honored to have y'all on here, honestly. So I appreciate it big time.
Anytime, anytime.
All right. Listen, everybody, go subscribe or no, you don't have a YouTube channel yet, right?
I have one, but it's never been posted on. So just
Gotcha.
TikTok, Instagram.
TikTok and Instagram. Is it the same on both? Call sign
Yep.
blue?
Call sign blue.
Call sign blue. I'll have the link and all that. Go share the airsoft love and hit up her page and comment on her. If you found her through this podcast, tell her you're over here from Trifecta
Yeah.
Airsoft or Trifecta Airsoft sent you over,
Mhm.
and yeah, we'll share
Drop
the
a
airsoft
comment.
love.
We'll become friends. Trust me.
Exactly. Awesome. Thank you so much, Blue.
Yeah. Anytime, anytime. So nice meeting you.
You too.